Mm. Okay. Hello, y'all. I had to get these cameras together. Got my two little horns. Hello, y'all. We're back for another live. And this time we're going live with Mr. David Lyve. Hello, he is here. He is here. All right, so I'm gonna pop him up. All right, quick. Yep. Let's go. Let us go. Hey, David. How are you doing?
What's up?
Yes, yes.
Long
Not
time.
too. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. How have you been working with the quarantine situation?
I guess the best I can. We sitting around. Hey, Adrian. We sitting around. You just sitting around. Enjoying family, enjoying some time to just kind
Mm,
of think. And I'm a huge,
yeah.
so it's not
Mm,
that good time for me because my brain just keeps going and going. But it's been a, yeah. What do you do? Just sit around and enjoy.
hmm.
How about you?
You know what? Kind of the same. I'm still in LA.
Yeah,
And just huh?
you had 75 degrees and palm trees.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, it's I definitely agree with you on the thinking aspect and just I guess one thing that some really cool art and really great news has definitely come, during this time period and also some, sadness. I don't know if you saw some of my posts. But yeah, just kind of absorbing it all and just taking the time to think on it. Um yeah, that's definitely been important. God has definitely blessed me with my housemates of, adoptive family, it's yeah, no, sometimes well no, I think you definitely can land in the right spot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to these days until they open up.
Yeah,
Closed
yeah,
over there though.
yeah. Oh, just to let you know, you're cutting out just a little bit with the signal, so if I ask you to repeat something, that is why.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That in my ears might be different. Stuff gets different in your 30s. Gets different. Yes, yes. All right, David, we're interviewing the amazing, I should have looked at more adjectives. David Lyve, dope musician, very, oh, nice guy, nice guy. And on the Flashbang EP1 and hopefully the EP2. Putting out there, manifesting. But
Yeah.
yo, I gotta tell you about some stuff, dude. Um, but I'll mention that later. I'm gonna let you talk about you. Um, yes, yeah. So like David, I have a feeling a lot of these people who are coming on, hey y'all, probably
Nope.
already know you, but for those who don't, tell them your name and the arts in which you participate.
Okay, so I am David Live. That's live with a Y, not an I. I participate. Participate. I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a guitarist. I'm also a
Mm-hmm.
bass player and a piano player.
Mm.
A music producer for several coming artists. And some well-known artists. I'm also a musician, so I tour.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, I am a full-time black man,
I
and
love that.
I'm an actor. So I dabbled in some models, but I've been doing a lot more acting the last few years. Except
Mm-hmm.
this year because everything got shut down. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
musician, actor, and just
Mm-hmm.
all trying to be a good guy.
Yeah, I love how you said I'm a full time black man.
Well,
That was on and popping. That was on and popping, David.
hey,
Yeah, yes, y'all.
it wasn't that way all the time, but it is now.
That's interesting. I'm hoping based on another question you go deeper into that. Um, But yeah, no, y'all, he's incredible musician, just phenomenal voice. And I have to say, I was blessed enough because I got to go to be in the same undergrad or go to undergrad with this man. And like, he just, when he tells you he's an actor, listen, don't miss his projects. He's good, really, really good. Like, has been since we were young. Sorry, since we were young. Yeah, no, listen, I got to see you be Tokalash like that. You did good. You did good. You did good.
To haunt me about that show.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I
Uh,
apologize if I.
for that show, and it was the craziest experience ever. Uh,
Hmm.
I've never done another children's play after that, but
Okay.
very interesting process.
Okay. Okay. Well, I apologize if I brought up bad memories, but
No,
you
no,
did.
it wasn't all bad.
Okay. Okay. Cool beans. And the Black Nativity too. That like each year, you guys killed it. Like you just were the theater department at A&T is. I joined for a minute. I had to release it, but that's another story for another time. But I spoke up when I wasn't supposed to. I had a word for you don't mess with old black dramaturgists. You just don't. I learned that in the most painful way possible. But you know, I learned that, and I also learned that I'm willing to risk the biscuit. Just you got to make sure the biscuit is worth it. I'm telling you, I won't mention names. One, because I forgot his name, but two,
Oh,
like, yo, I thought I had something to say. David, I shouldn't have.
hey,
Ooh.
learn.
I was like,
Live and you
no.
learn. And then,
Yeah, for real, for real. But listen, people don't mess with them, at least not publicly. You
right.
quietly slide in and ask a question. That's what you do. That's what, but you know, feel free to do you, young people. Like I wouldn't stop your path of growth. But listen, he cut my face, my spiritual face. I like felt a scar right here. It was like just
So
right,
I need some
right.
things. Still seem like you're dealing with some things. You ain't gonna let it go.
You said let it. You know what? Therapy is good. No, I actively doing therapy. Yes, yes, for real, for real. You know,
Okay.
got to keep your mental health right. But yeah, you know what? Actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. Like I still feel embarrassed, so maybe I should let that go. I got a point. You got a point. All right. David Lyve, please tell the people why it is a Y instead of an I.
David Lyve is spelled with a Y instead of an I.
Mm-hmm.
Live your life with a Y. You don't live it with an I. So it's pronounced live, but we,
Mm-hmm.
it's my name, but we were playing with it, and it was Live, and then I'm always about purpose-driven things.
Mm.
I will go on these shows, and I'll say, "Hey, my name is David Lyve," and I switch it to a Y because, you live your life with a Y. If you keep living for Y, then you have a better experience as far as I'm.
Mm.
But if you live your life with an I, then it doesn't really turn out too great in the end.
Mm.
Got to the from what I've experienced, keep living with a Y. So we spell it, Lyve.
Mm.
Live with a Y, don't live with an I.
No, I love it. I definitely wanted to make sure we got that out there in this interview because I heard you say that before, and I felt it was something important to bring to the people because that's one thing that we kind of run across in these interviews, like making sure that there's a purpose behind things, manifesting things. Um, but yeah, speaking of purposes and life purposes, when was the first time that you met art?
Art. So I'm not from a huge musical family, but I have
Hmm.
to tribute my father, who introduced me to classic soul, and he's a huge fan of like old school R&B, like the Blind Boys from Alabama type not R&B, gospel. But when I was, I think maybe 3, I heard it's probably not the song I should have been listening to, but I heard Johnny Gill's My," if you remember that song.
I just posted about it. Yeah.
So for whatever the reason, that song did something for me, and I ended up trying to emulate that song all the time. So I would
Mm.
dad, I would sing it for when they would have their card parties. They wanted me to sing the song. Why am I singing this song? I shouldn't have been. But for some reason, that just did it for me. So that was the first time I was introduced to like, oh, I like
Mm-hmm.
thing, and so that translated into when I was 7, I did my first show. I did
Mm-hmm.
a talent show. I was Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson. I was a huge fan of the Smooth Criminal video, and they bought me, the movie. So I was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Oh.
a white suit on and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my first imitation
Mm-hmm.
thing at 7.
Mm-hmm.
That Johnny Gill song, it did it for me. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the beginning.
Wow, that's deep. And it also is very coincidental, but I'm about to say something on that. That like I posted about that, and that's exactly when you mentioned, because I was thinking like Wolf James played him in the think or just play it a minute. But I have an amazing housemate, a praying woman, Anna Maria, and she said it's a coincidence, like kind of just God moving patterns that kind of like let you know where you are and what you're supposed to be doing. But that's pretty interesting. Is there any footage of that out of curiosity?
Yes, I have footage of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was stolen for a few years,
Ugh.
but I do have footage. It's on a old VHS tape, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't seem to do. But yeah, I got footage. It'll be in the Before They Were Stars movie. I'm up there with I got
Mm-hmm.
2 teeth because I was going through my teeth falling out process
Oh.
time, and I was on stage just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I fell in love with the hand claps, which is a good anime.
Mm. Yes, definitely, definitely. Wow, that is so cool. Yes, I definitely want that to be on, when they began. Part of the um part of the interview that I just had with the amazing Trinita Finney, incredible visual artist, graphic designer. I don't know if you saw it. It's up
Yeah,
on. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, check my stuff. Yeah, she is an incredible person, and just an incredible artist. And like one thing I really appreciated her saying was that, like, you get to count the childhood years that you were doing the thing. So like, you know, like I guess in my head I was thinking like when I'm putting on like resumes and stuff. Oh yeah, no, totally 5 years. But I realized like since I've been like writing and frankly like I guess even the thing of daydreaming, imagining stuff since like 7, you technically like add like 29 years experience. And it's not to say you have to be like an expert at that experience, but like how if you don't mind my asking, but you know personally how like, little kids are always like just, doing the thing or practicing the thing or like doing the practice that they work so hard. You just see them organizing the little chairs or tiles or.
we make such a big deal when you look at like the Michael Jackson story and you see
Mm-hmm.
5 and 6 years old and the Beyonce stories. Like we see all these huge celebrities start so young. Get that a lot of us started well. We
Yeah.
have the push that they had.
Mm-hmm.
I remember rehearsing myself when I was 8, 9, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of other musicians and singers that were doing that. So
Yeah.
I feel like we need to include, like you said, we do need to include
Mm-hmm.
those conversations. Like when you think about it, you were doing this a long, long time.
Yeah.
Just don't have the lights, camera, action that show people. But
True.
yeah.
The fun. Yeah. The funny part about it is like our kids now. I am an auntie for right now, but I told like the yeah, no, I started to make plans. Let's just say that for a little bit of
Okay.
now we're looking at 10 years. I want to make sure me and the baby can eat at the same time. You know, like I guess it's your cereal day, sassafras. I like certain names,
Hey.
so it's you had an old white woman. You didn't even give birth to an old white woman from the South. But yeah, we'll see what that is. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like I think this generation Z and generation hashtag after them, I'm trying to figure out what's gonna come after that, is definitely you know, having the lights, camera, action, especially like if the parents are influencers or, you know, like that. So it'll be interesting to see if they count their stuff a little bit earlier. Because I was looking at, crap, it's this beautiful little dark chocolate family, Belief in Fatherhood. And he has the, you know, little chocolate babies. And like one like got the camera and he just, well, I guess he's been on camera since he's 3 and now he's like 5 or 6 or I gotta back and look, but he was good like at what he was doing and like because he was trying to find a fake bug, but he didn't know it was fake. It was a whole thing, but yeah, I agree that we've been like practicers for a long time, but might not necessarily have had the camera angles. Um, let's see, you know, and I guess I mentioned influence and influencers. Who for you? We talked about Michael Jackson. We talked about Johnny Gill. Who else was like an influencer for you as a young person, and who was like such an influential type that you said, hey, look, I want to do this for the rest of my life, and then hey, I'm gonna make some money doing this. So
You know, it's funny. I was about 13.
mm.
Know how I got this record. For some reason, I had it in I had a Walkman, if you remember those.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
But I was listening to Jimi Hendrix when I was there. I don't know where I don't know who gave me the tape, pull it from somewhere. But the experience, I listened to that album, and that did, like, it just different mind frame. So I mean, imagine, you know, you're 13, Jimi Hendrix, and everybody else is listening to whatever.
Yeah. Back.
Yeah. So just the guitar. I didn't have any footage of him. I just could hear, like, it was just so much energy. And for some reason, that guitar just could, like, nobody that I knew played guitar or anything. I don't from a family of musicians or anything. But for some reason, I wanted to figure out how to make those sounds. And then I was you know, to Prince. And yeah,
the purple
so
one.
like everybody else, right? I mean, Michael Jackson was awesome, but then I met, you know, I didn't meet Prince, but I met music and video, and I think I saw Cream, maybe was the first song I ever heard from Prince. And that just floored me. Like, and I was still young, so I went and bought a guitar and learned how to play it, and and then I guess the most up-to-date guy would be D'Angelo, who I had the pleasure of hanging out with and sitting, just getting fed, and just brain and just the knowledge of music and just being able, like those three, just their music was able to capture the moment and the moods, and it just, like, I always love music that you feel like you're just so much into it that you're in a space and you're allowing me to feel what you're feeling. And of a lot of music that is intentional, like I be a certain thing. Like I love the music, like, you know, even if you watch a D'Angelo show and he's just music, like he's here and he's just inviting you into this space, and I feel that's great entertainment, because you want to about, you know, that's why I'm going to your show. Like, I want to forget about forget about everything, and I want to be. Yeah, those three main: Jimi Hendrix, Prince, D'Angelo, and I mean, of course, I love Chris Browns and the Ushers of the world and Justin Timberlake. But those three really do it for me.
Okay, wow, that is. I have to say, David, especially for how I've heard you play, and guys, it's you got to hear him. I get what you mean by making people feel, because you make your guitar talk. Like, it's. I remember, like, I first. Oh, come on, Roar. The Acorn, the Wood. It's a particular variety show, and I'm trying to remember. Very Philly famous, and it's not coming to my brain right now.
Been in LA too long, you're forgetting stuff.
No, that ain't it. This was happening before I left. You know, but so to that. I do not claim. What did my cousin say when I told her age? I do not claim that. But I am claiming a little LA. I'm enjoying myself. But and that was happening before I left. um but yo, no, it's gonna come back to me. But Vision and some of his contemporaries were part of this show, and I like just saw you white guitar and just mm. But now knowing that Jimi Hendrix is your one of your inspirations, that totally makes sense. Like just in such a deep and rich way. Um, I know what you were calling that particular guitar. Do you still call her by that particular name?
Uh, no, I changed the name because
Mm.
she went through some problems, and I had to change some things on it.
Mm-hmm.
It gravitated into a different name. So her name
Ooh,
is now. She used to be what I call a white girl or creamy or something.
Maxine. I
Yeah,
thought you called me.
but I've been through like three
Huh.
guitars. I've had
Mm-hmm.
one. Then, so guitars are an interesting thing. But yeah, she's
Okay.
got a new one finally because my acoustic guitar got smashed by United
Yeah.
Airlines. So they
Name
finally
them.
get checked.
Name them.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got no
that's
name the new one yet. So I'm still working
okay.
it in.
Nice. I didn't this is one thing that cut out. Did you say you had a mandolin?
No.
Okay. Just what was the thank you, Mama Misty Soul. Amazing, amazing writer. And
Say that.
then yeah, and then socials on here, and they do different curation, especially like Black cosplay and some other dope folker have checked in. Question that was not necessarily on the list. Why do musicians name their instruments? I know this is going to be really interesting.
It's a personal thing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing as like when people name their boat, name their
Mm-hmm.
car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guitar is probably the only instrument I that has a very personal touch to it. It's almost as
Mm-hmm.
if it's like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've slept with the guitar in the bed certain nights because you're so into it and the strings and everything. You're so involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Piano never did that for me. Like I mean, I can play, but never
Mm-hmm.
who I was into the
Mm-hmm.
playing the guitar. I can make the guitar feel the way that I
Mm-hmm.
so
Whoa.
turns
Mm-hmm.
into a very I would say almost spiritual experience when you're really
Mm-hmm.
into it, right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're not just playing just to show off. You're actually playing to emote, and that's one of the areas where if I really want to say something, I can say it a lot better with the guitar. Um,
Mm-hmm.
can't sing certain things. You know, sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
can't sing loud enough, but I can if I scream where to go to. So yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
very very personal and intimate thing. Which by picking a guitar takes so long. You want to play it, you want to change certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very very personal, alone thing. Like you
Mm-hmm.
spend. So yeah, you have to name it eventually. I don't think you do it immediately, but I've always named them after a certain amount of time. And when it becomes like they keep you around, you'll be one of my girls. So yeah, so you have to. But yeah,
Wow. Wait, say that part again, please.
Jacqueline Constance is on. Her music is dope as well.
Oh, wait. I think I know who you're talking about. I gotta go back to her. That oh, yes, definitely gotta check her out. Just like I love how you explain that, and it just feels so on point. There actually there is by the author who wrote Brown Girl in the Ring. She also wrote Sister Mine, and it's funny, but one of the characters had a guitar that comes to life and then later becomes her boyfriend. So like describing the intimacy just sews in like so well with that. Yeah. Ooh, David, you gave me ideas for future stories, so I thank you. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Just and it's interesting that you said that when I can't sing, when I can't say it loud enough, I can emote it through my guitar, because
Yeah.
it reminds me of musicals a little bit. Because like I think the rule is supposed to be, quote unquote, when you can't, when the words won't do, you sing it, and when you can't sing it, you dance. So that
Right.
is, and I know if I'm remembering correctly that you were at least in, or had been. What am I saying? Like in one particular musical in New York, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, I'm actually was in one before COVID. Been in a few.
Mm-hmm.
Finally made my Broadway debut. That was, um, so yeah, and I'm a friend with a lot of, and a lot of people know I'm also a trained dancer, thanks to A&T. But
Cool.
I'm not up and do no dancing. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the exact same premise. Like when you can't say it,
Mm-hmm.
like you can't say it, you'll write it or you illustrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for
Yeah.
everybody, their thing, and some people have good stuff. People, go ahead and bring.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Now that definitely feels right, because during this COVID period, I actually lost a family member to that, like one I was really close to. And thank you. Um. Yeah. No, it's the art. The art is definitely the thing that saves sometimes, because I was able to. Honestly, I started practicing sonnets. You probably know from my work that in Hey Jules, that I was really like into my haikus, and it's funny, that was a thing that was hard for me, that like as now once that is becoming a language. You know what I'm saying? But I decided, like, look, I want to try this hard thing to kind of really say what I want, to try something different, and definitely honor my uncle in that way. And you're like, I feel you on that. Like the art is a way you're able to paint with your emotions in a different way, or just create with it. But yeah, yeah, it definitely, art is truly an amazing thing. Oh, two questions. Maybe I'll fold them together. Maybe not. When hello Douglas Wood. Hello. When was the point where you realized, like, hey, this is my career, or I definitely can, do my purpose as well as make some dollars with this, or kind of, this is my career. This is yeah.
Um, it it didn't happen that fast.
Mm-hmm.
I never went into saying this is kind of my career, quote unquote. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I couldn't do anything else
Mm-hmm.
from 5, 6 years old. Like I saw
Mm-hmm.
the shows and I went to concerts. I didn't see it as a way of, oh, you can make money and this is a good thing to do. I saw it
Mm-hmm.
as that's what I should be. Um, so I guess it's just like anybody else who knows, when you wake
Mm-hmm.
up, I look at people that can draw really well. Like I can't draw, so if you can just draw and it just looks incredible, you just know.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I figured out the talent and just God started just giving me things, because I never prayed to be able to sing and play. Like it just happened. So I know, this is obviously where God is leading. So it's
Mm-hmm.
never went into it saying I want to make some money. I
Mm-hmm.
do, but I,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is gonna be. I just went into it and
Mm-hmm.
just because it was fun. It was everything that I could do. I couldn't do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I tried basketball and I was pretty, but being on stage just felt normal. Like I could
Mm-hmm.
just, and you go home. It's the exact feeling. You go home, you've had a tough day, and you get your shoes off and you sit in your favorite chair. It just feels.
Mm-hmm.
So me being on stage, and I was 10, being on stage, and I could just be everything that I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else, whether it be sports or whatever, it just
Mm-hmm.
never felt normal. It didn't feel natural. So I went into and theater particularly because that's just where I wanted to be. That's where I needed to be. Um,
Mm-hmm.
nobody else did it who I knew of. So that's me. So once I got older and more educated,
Mm-hmm.
I figured out some ways to say, okay, well, you can make some money because you got to make some money.
Yeah.
Because all of his friends come knocking on the door after you get out of
Mm-hmm.
school. So then
Mm-hmm.
it became, being smart about that. But yeah, I mean, I just went into it. I've been doing it ever since. And a lot of struggling and a lot of failures, which has led to, the good times. But yeah.
Mm. I'm so proud of you. Yes, yes. I think we froze. Hold on, y'all. The thing is, freezing. Oh wait, we had a weird moment, but yeah, totally proud of you, David. You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're freezing again. Okay, can you still hear me? Oh Lord. Okay, there we go. We're back on and popping. We're back on it. Hopefully, Instagram is interesting, but usually she's been good to me. So, yeah. Wait, say that one more time. Okay, hold on, y'all. It's gonna come back the way we need it to. Okay, all right. Ugh. Hold on. Maybe if I move this way, can you still hear me though? Yeah. Okay. Some technical difficulties, y'all, but we're gonna make it work. Okay. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna go get him back. Fun times. Trying to get our guests back, y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. Hmm. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Where are they? All right. Oh, there we go. Boom. Hey man, I'm
Okay.
Instagram is fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's technical wackaroo. I found a new word. Um, but yeah, just to catch folks up, thank you for just talking about purpose and particularly art purpose. Like when you definitely have found hope I'm quoting you correctly, but when you definitely have found that purpose, that God purpose, that universal purpose that you were supposed to do, it feels like an easy chair. I like that. That was dope. That was dope. Um, but yeah, it feels like something you're supposed to be in. Like it's like you said with with the journey, it's not always easy, but it feels right at the end of the day. you know. And I think I definitely agree with you. I think it's funny, but even if you need to, like, I'm just thinking about this for myself, but like, just even if you need to take a break, I think you definitely get signals for it when it doesn't feel like it's where it's supposed to be, or maybe you're like supposed to step into, like, you know, that that next level. One thing I want to ask, I'm going to come back to that level question. um, how would you define your genre? Or do you feel you have one particular? Do you feel like you're a musician who is just the full gamut of music is your genre?
I wish I could say that. No,
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like to keep it simple as possible, since we do live in a society where we like to put things in their boxes. I do R&B.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they call it now, urban rock and roll is at heart. So I mean, I throw in some guitar play. I mean, it's definitely music, but if you ask me, I'm just gonna say
Mm-hmm.
a touch of pop here and there, a touch of,
Okay.
but it's R&B. Keeps it simple.
You guys got to get his. Okay. Okay. You guys definitely got to get his different EPs. He did one called The Room. Do you want to tell him about that?
No, I did.
Thanks,
I can.
Dave.
Yeah, right. Right now, the latest one is called. Well, I did a Christmas EP.
Mm-hmm. That's so. Mm-hmm.
2 months ago, and that is now crossing over to like iTunes and everything, so you'll be able to stream it whenever you can.
Nice.
Before that, an original project called Love for Real. I actually have like 5 original projects,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't need to listen to it. Got a brand new original project coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably before the year is over. We're about 3 or 4
Cool.
songs now, and it's extremely personal. And I just, somebody's driving around in a 4-wheeler, so it's really loud. But yeah, so you can stream The Room right now, and that was the mixtape that we did the competition that I got a chance to go to Dallas and Seattle to meet one. If you don't know, we had a competition. If you could, every song was on a previous song from another artist. So if you could figure who inspired the songs, then you go city, your house, and do a personal show. And I had 2 people win. Shout out to Dallas for hosting me, and Seattle. So that was really, really dope. So yeah, go stream, go check it out. Go to my website. You can find everything. That's where I'll be.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for telling people that. I like that you are so personable with your fans. That you make them, as you said, you don't just give the experience on stage, but you also found a way to like connect in other points of life. I have to definitely say, as a fan of yours and like just of different things, that really makes a difference for the full surround sound experience. Feeling that you are a part of a thing that's like living and breathing, it just honestly can make life better, period. And I know definitely during this quarantine, like art is like, I think people are seeing like, people say, oh, we got to snatch money away from da 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 da, which is like, you're snatching training money away. It's kind of like snatching sneakers away from somebody who's running track, like, or the track team. This is another person who's adding such an important part to society, period. And I think especially during this wackaroo, there it goes again, period, that art is definitely saving in a large number of ways. And y'all definitely check out The Room. And I was thinking about one of the earlier EPs that you also mentioned. It's like it was good. Like every song was like just boom, boom, boom hitting. And then certain songs, definitely, your songs always have a spiritual or godly aspect to that. How would you say that the God ties into your art, or like that your art ties into God?
I think God is my art. Not to say, but I mean, I've always been, because I didn't earn it. guess you would say I didn't earn the ability to sing. Like I didn't take a bunch of lessons, or like
Mm-hmm.
like, can sing in the family. Like that's how crazy it is. So like I legit, woke up one day and God gave me the ability to sing and
Mm-hmm.
to listen to music, to be able to put it together. So I mean, I always
Mm-hmm.
try to attribute to that point. And like all of my albums,
Mm-hmm.
I always try to tell that story. And
Mm-hmm.
we go through all the things that we go through, but at the end of the day, God is where we get our food and energy and everything from. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always for even the bad, the goods, because like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to. And I think that's why, like, when I played sports, like, you can get better at playing sports outside of natural
Mm-hmm.
ability. Like, you can do things to get better, but singing is one of those things where it's gift. It's a, I always just God
Mm-hmm.
is my music. So eventually, one of these albums, I think I'm freezing again, but one of these
Yeah.
albums, what?
Mm-hmm. Wait, I think, yeah, okay. I think we got it.
Okay. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying, I just think that, I truly believe that God's in and that He
Mm-hmm.
stays in my and come from. Just knowing that
Mm-hmm.
hopefully He's proud of the music. Um, we'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
Okay. That makes you know what? All I have to say is Ashe. I would say Selah, but I think they said that's usually a thing you're not supposed to read. I remember that like reading that up there one time. But Ashe to all of that. Ashe. Um yeah, what kind of blanked out. You were saying one of the records that you're gonna do in the future will be
Oh yeah, I mean, I plan to do like a whole record album, just more of an appreciation to God than
um
actually to make praise and worship. Um,
okay.
so we'll see.
That's gonna be real. I definitely look forward to that. Uh, let me see. Let me see. I definitely realize that you are an amazing. Oh, y'all, he did. I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but he did an amazing song on the Flashbang EP, Bird on Bus One, and that's about a teacher having to like find strength in a moment that's utterly horrible, and then still find the flight when she's essentially just been like reborn with wings.
Oh, now you,
Wait, say that one more time. I think we good. So
all right, yeah, go ahead. I'm ready. Can you see me?
okay, cool. Oh, you said
Okay.
you were saying something. Oh, you said we were freezing. Okay. No, I'm saying so like he did Burgle and Bus one on the EP and it's good. Like I said, trying to find your way out of having like a secondary birth. That's really how I would describe definitely like, the touch that you put on it. So yeah, definitely check out all the stuff and definitely check out him on that particular song as well too. And yeah, no, David's been amazing because we've also had flashbang concerts and you just, come and just bless the mic too with that particular song too. And it's amazing to hear. And then there's a choral part on that you did that I just love because in my head it's like an angel choir, a little choir of angels, and I've noticed kind of like a really cool similar effect in your videos. Please, like where there's like 8 of you in a room, or like just 8 different boxes of you, but like the one that like really blows my mind is like the 8 in the room people, like you sitting next to you. Please tell the people how you did that.
Well, I have a lot of brothers who look just like me, so we get in the room.
Uh
No,
huh.
it's not trickery or any kind of witchcraft or anything. iMovie. That's the easiest
Nice.
answer.
Okay.
Just
Mm-hmm.
film it, and but it's worth it. It's worth it. But yeah, it's just a trick of iMovie, kind of clone yourself and sing to
Okay.
yourself. But because I spend a lot of time by myself.
Hmm. Hmm. You go in the room. See what I
Bro,
did there? Yes. No, but thank you for mentioning that because it's like as artists, we also, especially in this day and age. No, you know what? It's always been true because I'm thinking of like because I was reading, ironically, I was reading Prince's bio before he passed, but how Prince went in the studio and like just was in his machine, both with his instruments and also with that production board, and able to like kind of do different things. Like you said, sleeping with the instruments, he definitely slept there. I need to finish that. But it's good to like honestly, I appreciate you sharing the technical parts because like honestly, it's watching the amazing creations such as yourself do, such as other artists do as well. It's good to know the meat of the technical side as well because then you can create more. Um, we talk about like these different arts that we do for other people or through like you said tell me if I'm quoting you right. God is your music or the music is God. What is what is the still and silent voice that you give yourself? Or what is the artistic things that you do for just David?
I watch a lot of concerts
Hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
for two reasons. And I mean, old, new. I like to go. I like to
I'm sorry, we're
experience for entertainment, but then I also like to see what people are doing.
yeah. Give it
Uh,
1 second. Hold on.
it's
This
taking
is
me
we both move at the same time. We both do the wobble. It seems to work.
right.
Oh my god.
For, uh,
Mhm. Black people, black people magic. Listen, we're gonna save the world. To start wobbling to the
right.
front. Look, y'all over there, do the complicated wobble. You know what I'm talking about. The front, back, front, side step. I tried that once.
But,
I kind of really go more traditional. But I'm sorry, you were saying the art you do for yourself is watching concerts. Hold on. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby. Oh, it worked.
yeah, so I'm gonna talk real fast. So we do I like to watch concerts, old concerts,
Mm-hmm.
for hours and hours, and I just like to see what people are doing, what they've done. It's
Mm-hmm.
very inspiring stuff that I can't do. I like to watch like old
Mm.
rock and roll, just seeing the energy and feeling the energy. That's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's just watching and even talent and artists I like to go see and just
Mm-hmm.
but just be able to enjoy. What are people really
Mm-hmm.
up to? What are they into? What are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Who's really into it? Who's not really into it? Has the better instrument? That keeps me in
Mm-hmm.
the right direction.
You did the wobble and you came back. Yeah, it's totally going to make an appearance somewhere. But you were saying that watching these different concerts definitely keeps you. Yeah.
Yeah, it just keeps your mind where it just keeps it where it needs to go. Because I mean, when you're on stage and you're creating, like your brain is. If I just can relax, watch
Mm-hmm.
a whole of stuff. Like I wish I could watch one of my own shows outside of watch film. Like you never get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever. I just like it gives my creative juices some fuel.
Okay, it's move around a little bit, David. Do the wobble, because we can get this loose. I feel it. But you were saying that definitely watching concerts enables you to relax and kind of get the fuel you need to kind of go back in and do your thing.
Yeah, and then you get to see what people are doing. So it's a little guilty pleasure of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing? What can my that's a little different than yours, So both of our products can be good.
I feel that. You know, it's funny when you describe that. That reminds me of, we were talking about sports. That reminds me of football players watching plays. You know, to kind of enable or to kind of get better, watch their plays and everything. I think it's I'm both watching this. Speaking of watching, I'm watching the time, but I'm also thinking that I had a thought and it slipped right out. It'll come back though. I have faith. Yeah,
So,
it's really dope to know that, huh?
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Like, one, I'm glad kind of that you're able to have a guilty pleasure, and two, you're right. It definitely sees how you can add, I guess, to the artistic bouquet. I heard an interesting saying when this one rapper was being interviewed. He was like, someone asked him who's like the best, and he's like, he basically said like everybody, because like without this particular hip hop person or this, like the rest of us don't exist in the same strata, you know. And
Right.
I kind of like what you said, because it says that we're all necessary, you know, and how we're producing and including the art wherever we
All
are. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
body, like no, even if we try
Mm-hmm.
from nothing, every idea is always birthed from some type of inspiration. Whether you be
Yeah.
walking down the street here, like I've made songs out of the rhythm of a train. It's just stuff differently, and I think God has wired all of us those different lights and roads for else. Like if there was no
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, there'd be no Prince. And if there wasn't Little Richard,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a Jimmy. So I mean, it goes layer by layer. Um, and and we all love, you bring your individuality to it, but all of our ideas
Mm-hmm.
are piggybacked off of people doing stuff, which is great. We're all connected. We're all in
Yeah.
this together.
Mm-hmm. I really had an urge to sing that line from High School Musical. We're all in this together. Okay, I did it. But I feel you on that. It also reminds me of the Navi in Avatar, how they all connected to that tree. And like each was like a life lost was a light lost on the tree. I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with it. Um, but how they actually were based on rhythm to even like do that body switch thing that they were doing, or to like kind of give a rebirth, you know. And I think, yeah, I think each time we're doing this creation thing, this music thing, that we're like definitely rebirthing something. There's a philosophical idea that like in another world, and you could definitely perhaps even look at it as heaven, like the forms or things existing are perfect, and we're, although imperfect, it's not, because it's giving another, kind of like on a record, giving another groove to something. um yeah, and I think that's definitely like you said, artists down here, how we're all like adding to the show. I like that you kind of use something from the train tracks. um I do have a question as we
So,
huh
go ahead. Just saying what's
yeah
up to people.
yes, hey guys, hey. We have about 3 more minutes, so I guess I do definitely want to ask you this. Two questions, and we talked about like using environmental sounds. Let's talk about a whole environment. I love how you use, for one of your videos, that the city of Philadelphia became its own character. Do you try to often do that with the different videos that you do?
Well, the only one that I did was my hometown, Richmond. Uh, my last video on
Wait, say that. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. It kind of came through blurred.
No, I said the only one that I've specifically done that is the last video for the D'Angelo
Mm-hmm.
song that I did in my hometown, Richmond, which is
Ah.
where I am.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one that I had the backdrop. But the rest of them, just it's kind of on a whim. Like I did a video, I think of a tank, but I was, and it just, I just like, I'm one of those guys that like picnics and walking on rocks and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was the only one I specifically
Pretty lit.
with my hometown. I love Philly. Y'all been good to me, but Richmond is where it's at.
Hey, you know what? No shade, all coverage. Bam.
Hey.
See how I did that?
No.
But yeah, thank you. That's pretty lit. You know what? Let's talk about the legacy of things. What does legacy mean to you, and what's a legacy you want to espouse in both your living and something you want to leave behind?
Legacy, I don't think about it too much. I guess I have more the last, since I guess we've been in COVID, but I mean, my legacy, I always just try to leave a hardworking, no hand mentality, and just knowing that, creation and music is something bigger than ourselves. And that's why I give God a lot of that, because, God has granted me the ability to create. That's one of his greatest accomplishments, is the ability. So I always try to move that forward, try to make sure that, God knows that, taking that very, very seriously. And so the things that I want to create, make sure that people that are listening are getting something out of it, or getting fed kind of way, even if it's never, I think it's extremely not just do things. I have a few musician friends who are doing it for the paycheck, and it's so much more than that. It does so much more to that. So, if I would say any kind of legacy, the legacy of making creation has food to it, so people can really get. Music is one of the only forms that it's therapy. It propels you through hard times and good and in between times. Even now, throwing on the right. So it gets you through. There's plenty of songs that I've cried buckets to, and plenty of songs that I leave anything. I would love to leave, but moving forward our creation in that process, just making sure that God's gifts are not in vain, and we're not just out here doing. It's always with a Y. It's never with an I.
Yeah, we had a little blinkage, but what I definitely got that you said is your legacy that you want to leave behind is that making creation that is a mirror of God, and to make sure that people are fed. Did I get that correct?
Pretty much.
Okay. Awesome. I'm here trying.
Right.
Well, David, as we conclude this, I hope you will definitely come back, and hopefully the thing will be a little bit better. It's funny, like 87 people are jumping on right now. We have about a minute left. But I thank each and every one of you. Yeah, we're blanking a little bit, but thank you so much for coming through. We have about 45 seconds. Just tell people where to find you.
Hey, you can find me in Richmond, BA. No, just Google davidlyve.com, live with a Y, Instagram. You get me out on Acapella app. Shout out to my good friends over there at Acapella app.
Okay, we're freezing a little bit, David, but Y'all, we have 8 seconds. Dave, I'm going to say goodbye now. Find him on Instagram, David Lyve, with a Y, not an I. Live